At a very young age, my family always wanted me to become an attorney. They pushed me in that direction. They used to always state I could not just answer a question or do what they said. I had to be argumentative, so I needed to put that to some good use. Believe it or not, as a child growing up, I wanted to be a psychiatrist. However, I became a prosecutor because I believe that is one of the most admirable and respectable jobs you can have as an attorney. As a prosecutor, we are not here just to get a conviction. We are here to seek justice. We are here to uphold the criminal justice system, and I take that responsibility very grave. Some of the best parts about being a prosecutor is the advocacy. As I stated, I like to talk. I believe I'm a very passionate advocate. I absolutely embrace the adversarial process. I think that should be done with civility and fairness. I want people to see our criminal justice system, and in particular, the prosecutor's office, that we do hold people accountable for the actions they choose to take, but in doing so, we do that with fairness. And I think that is important for not just the survivor of a crime to see. I think that is important for the defendant to see, because that goes back to the community, and that shapes how the community's perception is of our prosecutor's office. Some of the more difficult things is the fact that we do see survivors or victims of crime at their worst. And me being a passionate and caring person, you would like to put that person back to the position they were in prior to the crime happening. You would like to make their life go back to the way it was before that traumatic event. Realistically, you can't do that. Crime affects people in many different ways. And that's from the most egregious murder, how it affects family and friends, to a lower level crime such as theft. What we can do as prosecutors, though, is be there and listen. Maybe direct them to the appropriate agencies so they can get help. We can be there, hopefully, to make their interactions with the criminal justice system, and again, specifically with the prosecutor's office, as bearable and as less traumatic as possible. There has been a case. It was when I was a juvenile prosecutor over in juvenile court. It was back around 2003. I worked in a dependency and neglect unit. That's where we get cases referred to us for child abuse and things of that nature, children being neglected or abused. I had a case. It was when I first got transferred, and it involved a young woman around 22 years old, and she had 2 children. One was 7 and one was 1. The 7-year-old came to our system because she was being abused, and it was clear based on the pictures and how she was being cared for. However, the 1-year-old, it was also clear and apparent, was not being abused, that the mother absolutely knew how to take care of a child. Now, the twist to this story is the mother was raped when she was 15 years old by her mother's boyfriend. And the 7-year-old was a product of that rape. And I spoke to the CSB workers who had been involved in the case for many years, and said the mother, the 22-year-old, refused to get any counseling because she didn't think she needed help. Well, it's obvious that she needed help based on how she treated her 7-year-old. That anger, that frustration was taken out on that 7-year-old. But whose fault is that? You go back, she didn't ask to be raped. You go back to the whole situation that brought that about. However, the ramifications is going down to a whole nother generation. So I had things going on in my life at the time. However, after that case, it made me put different situations and things into perspective like I had never done before. Some of the biggest misconceptions that I've come into contact is that we are the big bad government. We are out just to get convictions. We are out to have a high conviction rate. We're not fair. We don't want to listen. We think all defendants are bad, evil. That is totally not true. I pride myself on going through each case on a case-by-case basis. I don't want to know just about the what. I know the what. I have police reports in front of me. I can read them. I want to know the why. I have a lot of plea negotiations with defense attorneys trying to get to the why. And again, I pride myself, and I think everyone in this office prides themselves on doing each case on a case-by-case basis, because they're all different. And I don't believe every defendant is bad. People make mistakes. People absolutely make mistakes. And one thing I remember my mother taught me is the one person you step on your way up may be the same person you need on your way down. I try to treat defendants with fairness and with dignity and respect, and that's all people.